Hello. How's it going, y'all? I like this song. This is good, like, space background music. Hey, Nix. Hey, Remus. Hey, how's it going, Remus? Nix, you're still sick. I'm sorry to hear that. It's been going around. It's been going around. The winter was really brutal for me. Like December, November, December, especially. I'm doing okay now. How's it going? Light mode Dave today. I know I'm famous for my black sweatshirts. But today I'm wearing my little frog in a boot. Little frog in a boot sweatshirt. I know. Good Dave is here today. Evil Dave. Evil parallel universe Dave is taking the day off. We're on the good timeline, Dave. Sorry. You can tell us apart because Evil Dave has a beard. The darkest timeline, Dave. How's everyone doing? We're working. We're working on FTL, faster than light kind of game. FTL light, I might say. Thank you for the resub. 7 months. Thank you so much. You're almost up to a year. Can't wait for your platinum badge that looks exactly like the silver one. It does not look exactly like the silver one. It is a much lighter tone. Those that know, know. In another year, you'll get the boat. And then I don't know after that. I have to keep choosing. I can start to add maybe some 6-month... or not 6 months, some 18-month badges. 11 months. Yeah, sorry. This thing says resubscribed for 7 months at tier 1. You subscribed for 11 months. Blame the Twitch. Blame the Twitch overlay. We're a spaceship company and not a sea ship company. Look, all we have... There's only one thing to do, and it's to ship it. There's only 2 things to do. Cut it or ship it. So maybe we need like a samurai sword one. We'll see. We'll see what we end up with after Ludum Dare. Terrible stream intro today. It's on me. Ludum Dare 59. It's unclear when it starts. But it's Friday. It's Friday sometime. Maybe 5 p.m. I thought it was 6 p.m., but maybe it's changed. There's theme voting. I think I need to do some theme voting. Let me log in here. We'll do some Ludum Dare stuff to start the stream. But today we're going to be, this week until Friday, we're going to be working on our Lofi Flyby capsule art. All right, ldjam.com very helpfully says this starts Monday, December 31st, 2019 at 5 p.m. Oh, that's so stupid. Ludum Dare 59 starts in actuality on Friday at 6 p.m. Also known as April 17th. Let me go ahead and join the event. I don't think that'll do anything, but let me go ahead and do it. Why did that change? Oh, because I minimized. We're going to go ahead and join the event. We don't need to do anything about it. We just need to create it. All right, now I got to find the theme voting. Here's other people's responses to the theme voting. I think I missed round 1. Apparently one of the suggestions is no text in the entire game. This week's so busy for you, Nix. Tomorrow you got an appointment with the cat dog tour. After that, you have an appointment with your human dog tour for both Thursday and Friday. Oof, busy. All right. Now where, if I was a theme... Here we go. All right, yeah, we missed round 1, apparently. Can I still vote for round 1? Are these are totally different, right? And then they'll be combined into a final round. I think I can do both of these. So we can do neutral, we can do +1, -1, or neutral. Split. I think that's kind of cool. Waves is cool. Reflection is just going to be puzzle games. Paths. Layers. Cartography. Horde. Could be fun. Out of bounds. I kind of vote based on clarity. Wrong tool for the job. This is... I don't understand what that means. Shelter. That could be fun. Fragments. Trapped. Alright. Theme 1. Theme round 1. I do like that they let me vote multiple rounds simultaneously. Hey, Sapphire. Weird. Your thing also says you've subscribed for... Oh, this says... Okay, yeah. The resubscribe thing is busted. How are you doing, Sapphire? On a 7-month streak. Reflection could be cool, like a game where you're looking into a puddle, you can only see the reflection. Yeah, it could be cool. It could be cool. You could do a game about trying to, like, fight Medusa or something. I just feel like it would mostly be just tile-based puzzle games about reflection rules or something. I don't have any actual ideas. No text in the entire game. That's really stupid. Protect is fine. Voyage is fine. I don't know. Actually, side effects might be kind of cool. Limited movement. This is like not... That's not very helpful. Deja vu. Orbit. That'd be a lot of orbital mechanic stuff. That could be fun. You are the environment. Oh, I actually like that. A lot of these I don't... I downvote just because I don't have an idea, or I don't feel like they evoke anything to me. Vessel. Hidden spaces could be kind of cool. Strange machines is always interesting. Dungeon. Okay, that's a lot like round 1. We downvote 5, upvote 5 or 6, and then our meh on the rest. Oh, same thing here. We downvoted 6, upvoted 5, and we're meh on the rest. All right, that seems fine with me. I would have definitely forgotten. We'll have to remember to come back for the final round. But yeah, I'm excited. Ludum Dare this Friday, 6 p.m. We're going to have a weird streaming schedule this weekend because of this 6 p.m. thing. We'll probably start late and then run through 6 p.m. each day. So we'll probably start afternoon and then stream into the evening. But we'll see. That's later. This is now. What we're working on right now is our Steam page stuff. We're trying to work on getting our store graphical assets all sorted out, all the things we need to put up a Steam page in line with the plan. So we've got all this stuff we need for the Steam page. We're working mainly on the capsule art piece first. This is all in service of the plan, which is to make a Steam page this quarter, Q2. Try to scrape together some kind of trailer thing next quarter, and then some kind of demo in the last quarter. It's a pretty accelerated schedule. I'm certainly not doing myself any favors by signing up for all these game jams. We're doing 3 in 3 months. We did Down to Jam last month. We're doing Ludum Dare this month, and we're doing Solo Development Jam next month. And then I think we're done with jams for a while. But yeah, we're working on it. We're working on the Steam page. D2 Jam was only last month. Yeah, it was 6 weeks ago. It was at the beginning of March. Yeah. And then we do this, and then like 3 or 4 weeks from now, we have a jam. Maybe even less. We have a jam. Solo development is like in early May. Yeah, so it was 6 weeks now from Down to Jam to Ludum Dare, and then it's only 3 weeks from Ludum Dare to solo development. Luckily, solo development jam will be fun because you're allowed to use assets, and it's 72 hours. So we have a little more time, but it's solos only. Pre-made assets are allowed. I really like solo development jam. I would love to do well in a solo development jam someday. Because I feel like I have the most fun and I can focus on gameplay. Because like our last solo development jam games have been The Grave Escape and Mini Delivery, which I had a lot of fun making both of those. And those are my only 3D games that I've made in Godot. So I really enjoy these. I look forward to making another 3D game with pre-made assets. But yeah, we got to get through Ludum Dare first. But so during the week, I have low expectations for this week. Feels like a year ago. Yeah. Yeah, we did. It was not long ago at all. I think it's because I dropped it so quickly. I'm a little disappointed by what we ended up with Build a Bonsai, which is obviously nobody's fault but my own. But I think I aimed a little high, and I did not get there. I did not get there. It's because we tried to make a bonsai pruning game, and then we weren't able to get the generation to work, or the pruning really, so it ended up becoming a block building game. And I'm not so pleased with how that ended up. But still, I thought it was fun. I maybe enjoyed Bare Necessities a little more. I want to go back and fix that one a little bit. But yeah, store capsule templates. So we're trying to make one piece for all of these different capsules. Like the way they have this one piece of Alex with like the combine wall, whatever you call these things. They have this one big piece. That's the vertical piece. It actually extends a little past this vertical piece. It looks like they made like a large, fairly square piece, and then they ended up cropping in or scaling down to get the small ones. So we're gonna do something similar, including the background, which they don't do this for, but we're going to. There's a page background that you can also upload. So yeah. We just need to fulfill all these requirements. Screenshots are going to be a lot of work. which might sound weird, but it will make sense eventually. And then we got to do written descriptions eventually. I'm not super worried about those, though. Sapphire, you're finally possibly going to be working on a small programming project? Hell yeah. What you've been craving recently? You had the idea yesterday while playing the Monopoly that has electronic banking to make an app that would do all the banking and everything for your collection for a few different for your collection of a few different monopolies. Make them so much quicker to set up and play. Also allow you to learn multiplayer stuff. Allow everyone to see their own stuff on their own phone while playing. Ooh, okay. Interesting. That's neat. Yeah, like a companion app. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm finishing up a cup of tea and eating a little muffin, so don't mind me. So last time we kind of decided on this sort of thing. I mean, you gotta use Godot. Are you just gonna do it as like a web game? Or are you actually gonna try to be building some phone apps? Because that would be an interesting challenge. Some web apps or some some mobile programs you can just side load or whatever people do. So this is what we did last time. We set up a real small framing for the small capsule of just Ripley, Jonesy, the cat, who's not a ginger in this rendition. I relit the chair based on what I think is going to happen here. And hopefully differentiate her a little better against everything. I think this is better. I'm still not, sold on the color choices, but that's fine. So what we need to do is we need to do the rest of the thing. And so like I said, we're doing a kind of tall. So that was the small capsule. Which for here, what they've done here with their small capsule is they just down-resed it. That's way less compelling for me for a pixel art game. So I'm not doing that. Instead, I thought I would just crop in real tight so you can maintain the crispness of the pixel art. But yeah, we got the other ones, especially the vertical. The way we're thinking about using the vertical, and what really got me to do this is I looked at where the vertical capsule is used in the store page during sales. And it really seems to only be used on sales. And what's interesting is the lower third of this always seems to get cut off by the sale details. And so what you end up with is like a very almost square looking capsule. So originally I was going to have Ripley and the ship at the bottom and then have a bunch of stellar nonsense, as I call it, at the top of a star and planets and stuff. But then I realized I should probably flip that so that the title and the character and everything are at the top. So that if the stellar stuff gets cut off, it's kind of at the bottom, and it doesn't matter very much. If it's included in a sale or whatever. So what I kind of did on my own is I kind of thought about where I would want. So this is our small capsule, right? So this is we just got to work out the background for this, but otherwise this is done. So the bigger one, like this. I'm trying to retain the Ripley's kind of between the logo deal. Same thing as here. It's a little messy, but I like it. And then so what we're going to have, I think, the way I'm thinking about it. So the header capsule is like this. And there's a main capsule, which extends a little bit lower. There's also a bundle asset is really narrow. So there's another really narrow cut, which is for a bundle asset. You know, so this will be fine. This will be fine. This should be fine. The vertical one is the whole thing. So I updated the canvas that we're working in a little bit just to make the vertical one good. And so now we're in a 75 by 90 canvas, which is about what we need for the vertical capsule. So that'll work just fine. And this is what I've got so far for like a ship outline. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Took a I'm imagining that this is, you know, the window. And then we could do something on the side here, or we could just have it be just like the hull of their cab or whatever. So I think this is all right. We're not doing it in perspective. Like, I realized we couldn't do this piece in perspective. And Cast and Chill is not in perspective either, even though it's the most gorgeous pixel art game I've ever seen in my life. I know games like The Drifter and stuff are really good, but for what we're talking about here, if you'll notice that their header capsule, which is above my head, is also not in their same perspective. The one they're doing is a lot higher res while still suggesting pixel art, which I think is a masterstroke of capsule design. I can't achieve that. I can't like draw Ripley at like a higher resolution. That would be insane. Hey, Nanigans. And so I'm just going with, I think, something like this, and the logo will show up like here. And so it'll be them on their ship, and then we just need to figure out what else is going on with these capsule sizes in mind. So we want some kind of stellar object here, I think. Either here or here. Somewhere around here we want something. Maybe a planet or a star. I don't know what. We want something here. And then something else down here. Like more planets. So I'm thinking of maybe a star here. And then some really distant planets back here. And some more big planets maybe up front here. And have this kind of be, we're kind of flying in along above the stellar plane. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. I would be happy enough just to keep working on the ship. And like texturing that out and figuring out what we want to do for that. I have no plans. Space Thulu. There's gonna be some weird like references in the game lore about like a space Cthulhu. Just because of how often it's getting brought up. But no, we probably won't have anything crazy happening in the background. I think that'd be funny. It'd be funny to have something truly crazy happening behind like Ripley and the ship. I think that would be truly funny. Sapphire for your companion app. You're not sure? You're not sure yet? You think you'll try to just export to Android and sideload? It'd be interesting. I've never done an Android app. I did a, back in, when I was still using Unity, I did a Apple. I did an iPhone app. I got that to load. I hated Xcode. Never again. I don't know if I'm going to ever support Mac with any of my games. Linux, I think I can support because I plan on having a Linux computer. But yeah, I won't. Don't hold your breath for a Mac build from me. It's just for playing. You're making it just for playing with family. Yeah. No, I would do the web build thing. I would just have it played from a web browser on the phone, probably. Nix, you feel that your mod is mysteriously broken on macOS and you have no idea how, why, or how. Yeah, it's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it pretty much ever to try to develop on Mac for games. For Linux, it's hardly even worthwhile, except the Linux people are very loud And Steam Deck makes it kind of worth it. Not really though, because you can just do the same thing everyone else does, which is use the whatever it's called, Proton or something. But yeah, I don't know. I like the cut of this ship. I'm not 100% sold on the window structure, but I kind of like it. I think the thing I have to decide is whether I want to do anything with the side hull other than like texturing. I need to make some more layers here. So this, instead of being the capsule art canvas, this needs to be like, oh, it's not even the canvas, it's the copy. This needs to be like a pilot plus cat. Maybe pilot plus companion. I don't know. I'll say pilot seat. Pilot seat. There's a ship outline. Let's make a new layer that's like ship like texture. And then we have to figure out what we want to do. I don't feel like there's much room in here to express much. I think the first thing to do would maybe to just darken it out. And in fact, we can do it behind them. So we could do like something relatively dark that's not too dark. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's gonna be hard to do. Is this too dark? I think so. Oh, this needs to be in the reverse order. Get rid of the tile grid. There's no tile grid. Yeah. No, that seems reasonable. I have my tablet set up here to help with the drawing, and I'm like literally not using it. Pathetic Dave. So yeah, we could look at some stuff. I got my Pinterest loaded up, which is apparently not on my. So I'm interested in looking at like some stellar pixel art, I guess. God, fucking Pinterest. Intuit, QuickBooks. Literally never use any Intuit service ever. Do not do it. I have a problem. Would a galaxy be maybe more interesting than stars at our resolution? Would that be more interesting? Maybe something like this would be really sick. Pixel art. I want a new board. Create a board. We'll call it outer space. Something like this could be interesting. This is like way too high res for us, but that's a challenge that I'm thinking of. God, enough with they really want to sell me this bunny outfit. It's not my size. But yeah, space, pixel art, space stuff. Yeah, pixel art, space stuff. Kind of interested. We got to figure out some good stuff that we can do at low resolution. If we had a high resolution, we could do some beautiful things like this. But I don't know what resolution this is, but it's probably... Actually, this is probably pretty close to what we have in terms of resolution. I can't do something like this, though. I wouldn't be able to do the kind of deep layering that's going on here, but it's a good idea. Try to do something that's a little more textured for ours. Something like this. Oh, this is a mix of pixel art and not pixel art. That's not great. That's not helpful to me. Yeah, this is 100 by 100. We are working with 7590. So this is already bigger than our whole composition. So I guess that's the question is, do we do like one big planet? What I've got in my head so far is like... What I'm thinking so far for this, we got like our spaceship here. We really don't want to do... We want some visual interest, and they're kind of looking this way anyway. So I think it would be good to do some kind of star here. I think it'd be good to do some kind of star or something. Do something here. Oh my god. I think I have touch sensitivity on. There we go. So I think it would be cool if we had like... We had like a star or something here. Something like this. Maybe it's a little higher, and maybe it's like back. Maybe it's like you can see it back through this. So maybe it's like this part. There's like a big star or something, or a planet. I like the star because that would allow us to put planets in the foreground down here, like a few planets. We did something here. This would need to be... So here's the problem with that. This is like a white logo. And I could change that, but I don't think I should. So whatever I put back here, if it's behind the text, I can't. Maybe what we should do, maybe it should just be like a planet here. I'm thinking about the cutoff. But like, what if it was like something out here? If it was like something like here, you know. Think of something like this. Arneo, you've been wanting to do a black hole with particles in the style that Interstellar movie popularized. That's good. There's some really good examples of that. A rare white sweater day. Yeah, you've got light mode, Dave, in today. Sapphire, you're wanting to scan your actual physical cards for Monopoly to use in your companion app. Oh, that's interesting. You're looking at Photogrammetry for the pieces. Oh my god. This is going to quickly become an enormous project. But I'm here for it. Hey, Rhiannon. Work's keeping you from getting into the stream on time. No worries. We started late. So no worries. We're just thinking about the capsule and what kind of the composition for the stellar background should be. How are you doing, Nanigans? I don't remember if I asked. Oh, we got a spam bot. Load the photon torpedoes. Ready. Aim. Fire. Sorry. Ready, aim, fire.
He's dead, Jim.
I got a little ahead of myself on that one. I got spooked. The wind like blew open a door. All right, well let's forget about this. So what's like the size of the thing? Should it be big? Should it be like bigger than... Should it be like this enormous thing? I don't think I want to do that either. I think I want to have some kind of visual focus like here. It could be like a black hole. Like we could do like a black hole here, and then we could have like rings that just radiate out from it. Like we had a few of them. I just don't A, we don't have the resolution, and B, I'm kind of not good at this. Like, I would love to be able to do something like this. That's like way too high res. Maybe a galaxy? Maybe that's what it is? Where did my cursor go? There it is. We're gonna say like pixel art, black hole. Black hole is nice because there's not much to draw. But yeah, we could do something like this probably. We need to do it in a way that the event horizon doesn't disrupt the logo. Ooh, what's this? Yeah, this is sick. I feel like I'd be more comfortable doing something like this, doing like a dark star thing. Because it's just like concentric circles. We could try to do something like this. Oh, this is great. The Earthrise. Pixel art Earthrise. Love that. There's also an element of like dithering that we could do. I don't mind the black hole. It feels evocative of like the Great Whirlpool and like the Odyssey or something. This is cute. I like this pixel art Death Star. Not right for us, but very cool. Get those hard edge lights. Some stellar phenomena to create stark lighting would create some depth. Yeah, I don't know how quite to implement that, but it would be cool. I don't feel confident about this part of the project, but you know, it's okay. I keep telling myself if we feel like it in the future, we can always make a new capsule art. We're not married to this capsule art. We make it for the purpose of getting it out there. So like something like this I could do. The stellar background stuff even would be a little concerning for me, but we could still do something. I kind of like this. I want to do this in a way. My problem is that kind of no matter how I do this, unless I do it with some color, it will be disruptive of the title sequence. But I kind of like this. I see how this is structured. It's like dark concentric circle inside, light concentric circle outside, and then like a ring structure. So like another concentric circle at like like aligned to like the up axis. Like I see how to make this, and I feel like I could even make something like this, and I would make it equally jaunty. I like these though. I like a lot of these. Oh, that one's weird. I don't know how they made that. Oh, this one's cool. Pulsar. I'm not confident to do this kind of texturing. We also don't have the resolution for this kind of texturing. Our resolution is very limited in terms of what we can do. Yeah, I think we could do a black hole. Whether that's the correct thing to do. You know what we could do? We could have... I can't get out of here. We could have a black hole up here that reads in the capsules. So this section is visible generally from the different capsules. This one's the header capsule, which is the main one. So most of what we want to do needs to be visible here. So we could do a black hole up here. We could have it overlapping with the ship to add some depth. And then we could have like a planet or something here, like a gas giant that's just getting like pulled in. Like have a big planet down here that's just getting like slowly sucked in. Like put like a planet here and then have like it just getting pulled away into this black hole. That could be neat. That could be neat. And that kind of goes along with this idea of her kind of just chilling as like some crazy destructive thing happens in the background. That could be fun. We do have to be considerate of the logo and how that would affect things. So we would need the light arc to be like largely outside of this area where the logo sits. Hey, okay, water, okay. It's not that it's how the... Oh, Interstellar. Yeah, Interstellar does get credit for that look. I've seen people... I know of a game by Exodrifter. They recreated that black hole look like with just like shaders or something. Like, incredible. Would I be able to find their game? How are you doing? How are you doing anyway? Okay, water, okay. It sounds like you're okay. But yeah, Exodrifter has this amazing... Let me see if I can get the black hole. No signal. Okay, I think I have it. Let me see where this black hole is. So yeah, so here's the signal for, or the no signal demo. They did this as part of their project, which is incredible. It's amazing. Look at this. This is done in 3D using like just shaders. Beautiful. It's incredible to see that running in the game. Amazing. It looks nice, but that doesn't look too realistic. I mean, it's in a game, but I also don't know what a realistic black hole looks like. Doesn't it look like nothing? I'm pretty sure that's if there's a mathematical model of what a black hole looks like, either Christopher Nolan and Exodrifter used it, or everyone's just decided to make it up the same way. There are some incredibly cool looking black holes set up in Eevee and Blender. Yeah, I just don't get it because, you know, the event horizon and everything. Christopher Nolan used it. Yeah. There's a model of how black holes look, I guess, mathematically. I've never seen one. Next, you're annoyed. Your mod only works properly when you build and patch your game using the .java files, but if you copy over the .class files that you just built and use those to patch the game, some parts of the mod is broken. Which has nothing to do with either. That's tough. It's tough. Rhiannon, Nolan had a big physicist consult on it. It's called an accretion disk. Yeah, the accretion disk. It's everything that's just on the edge of falling in. So, like, this is what an accretion disk is supposed to look like, right? Like, this is mathematically... And this is what they had in No Signal and what Nolan has is Interstellar and stuff. So, this is made up of a number of different parts. There's the image of the disks. Oh, boy. This is a high-res image. So, I don't know. It looked pretty realistic to me. Image of the disk's far side. Black hole's gravitational field alters the path of light from the far side of the disk, producing this part of the image. So this is the far side of the disk being warped by gravity. So this is actually a flat disk. But I think the light itself is being bent, so we see it flare up like this kind of halo look, which is neat. There's a photon ring. There's a ring of light composed of multiple distorted images of the disk. The light making up these images has orbited the black hole 2, 3, or even more times before escaping to us. They become thinner and fainter closer to the black hole. Interesting. Black hole shadow. An area roughly twice the size of the event horizon. The black hole's point of no return that is formed by its gravitational lensing and capture of light arrays. Yeah, so it's this sphere. Image of the disk's underside. Light rays from beneath the far side of the disk are gravitationally lensed to produce the... So I see. So it's one flat disk here, I guess. But the lensing from the far side is creating this kind of weird, distorted look. So what I would want to do is I'd want to put this up near the header capsule and then have a planet in the foreground that's basically like maybe a gas giant, and it's just being sucked into the accretion disk. I think that would be cool. Actually, I guess it doesn't have to be a gas giant. It could be a star or something. I want something in the foreground that's like a big planet that's relatively easy to draw. Doppler beaming. Light from glowing gas. The light bends around the outer side of the event horizon, and it looks pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Light from the glowing gas in the accretion disk is brighter on the side where material is moving toward us. Fainter on the side where it's moving away from us. Okay, so like the left side is brighter because the light's circling around this way. And then it's fainter on the right side in this case because it's moving away from us. So that's interesting. So we could have it like this, where the left side's the lighter side. That might give us that hard edge light where it's behind the ship. That could be fun. You don't think every black hole has one? They do. Kip Thorne, that's quite a name. That's the name of the physicist from Interstellar. That's cool. Oh, you know, apropos of nothing, I saw a really stupid sci-fi movie last weekend. I'm gonna watch it again because I watched it with the dub and I kind of want to watch the original. But it was called Space Sweepers. It was so stupid, but I enjoyed it, actually, I think. It's a 2021 South Korean space western film. And I liked it. It was fun. It was like a late stage capitalist hellscape space trucker vibe. Imagine this future of the Earth where everything was caught up, where everyone had like fled to the orbit and there was all this orbital trash and all this stuff. Okay, yeah, this is what I want to kind of do. I want to do something kind of like this, I think. Except not quite side to side like this. The giant star would be like in the foreground and is getting pulled into the compact companion star. I might need to change my lighting if that's how that works. The light would come probably from the left. So I would need to flip these shadows a little bit. I'd probably do something like this. What is this? Oh, this is H. Interesting. Oh, that's actually quite nice. But now I need an alt. Oh, these both do the same thing. That is interesting. Okay. In that case... Sorry, fixing my Wacom tablet express key positions and pen functions here. I have different setup on my desktop and my laptop because my laptop is where I do most of my drawing. And every time I switch back and forth, I get a different opinion. So I don't actually want the middle click. I actually want this to be Alt so that I can sample from the pen really easily when I'm painting. So I can do this and I can just grab the color here. So would it be like this? Oh, I should have grabbed that color. It would be like this. And then it would be like, oh man. That's maybe better. That makes sense if the light source is from down here. So I'm thinking of having a big star like down here somehow. Have like a big star down here or something. And then have like a dark star back here, you know. Would that be all right? How would that be? Maybe smaller. Like Maybe it would make sense for it to be like down here. Something like that. And then do like an accretion disk around this. And then have this star getting sucked up. Try to do the lighting in such a way that suggests that the star is in front of the ship. Actually, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Star would be behind the ship still. Never mind. I messed up with changing this lighting. I still kind of like it though, maybe. Go do something like this. I don't know if I like that more or worse. The chair is something I'm going to keep coming back to over and over again, I feel. But yeah, I think a framing like this kind of works for me. Nanigans, from an art direction POV, you probably don't want something super saturated and contrasty in the background, or it's going to drown out your logo and ship. Yeah, that's why I want to just suggest something. I think you're right. I think you're generally right. I don't think I would go too crazy with it. I think I would have like one ring of the extreme thing, and then a gap, and then maybe just a little halo that's just a few pixels here. Switch to the flat accretion disk here, which is underneath the header capsule, but within the main capsule. I've been kind of careful to like make sure that I'm changing these things. Like you'll notice that like we don't start pulling the direction of the bottom of the ship out in the header capsule, because that would be distracting. We do it down here in the main capsule. And then for the bundle asset, you wouldn't even see this really. And in fact, I could go up another pixel and make it so you really don't see it, but having multiple different reads here is definitely challenging. Okay, we're in ads. That's good. Arneo, you made it like 10 minutes into Space Sweepers. You're not used to Korean films. I don't watch them a lot. Hey, Boolean, how's it going? Thanks for the hydrate. I like, for example, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. That one's fun. But yeah, I enjoyed Space Sweepers. It's super cheesy, but if you watch it like it's like almost like a live action anime in terms of how the seriousness and the ridiculousness, I enjoyed it. I watched it with the dubs, which was a mistake, but I was eating dinner and drawing. And I was like, I'm not going to be looking at the screen enough to read the subs. But now that I know the general plot of the film, I'm going to go back. So I think something like this is literally all I can do. So yeah, let's make sure the sun is not in the main capsule. So yeah, I think we'll have a dark star and a light star companion, and there will be like some kind of, let's pick some kind of tone between the two of these. There will be like some kind of effect. Maybe it'll be like pulling this towards. Maybe it would probably go the other way, huh? I want something like, I want something to like pull this into the accretion disk or something. Like something like this. Something kind of like this, you know? I'm just blocking it out, but... probably have it curve in here instead of out. Something like this. I'm not sure about the specifics. I'm just trying to block it out a little. And then have it... Is that like terrible? I think that's like okay. I think this is maybe a little taking too long to arc down. Something like this. And it will like swirl in. Maybe back from the other side. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it would very gently, like, just... You probably won't be able to tell. There's going to be some kind of halo. But you know what I mean. It's going to, like... Suggest it's, like, spiraling around. What it should do is it should spiral back in on itself, probably more than anything else. You know. Probably want to make this a little sharper. You like the violence of a star being sucked into a black hole juxtaposed with the chill scene in orbit? Yeah, I'm trying to lean into everyone's desire for there to be some crazy shit happening in the background, and Ripley and Jonesy are just like kicking back, just kind of chilling. I like that idea. We're not having Space Cthulhu, but I really like the idea behind it. I hate doing big art pieces like this. I have literally no ideas, and I just I play around until something starts to come together, and I feel like I'm just wandering around in the dark the whole time. It's really not my strong suit here. Get a little more specific about this just so I can feel the line work a little more. Doesn't feel right. The bird's eye view of this, I think is gonna be okay. Because honestly, most of the time that you see this part, it's just gonna be either the full, because of the full screen, or because you're doing a vertical, or because this is the page background. And I think that's the other thing that's concerning, or not concerning, but required, is this page background thing needs to read acceptably on its own. Or not acceptably, but like all of this needs to work together and also work in isolation, which is a challenge. So like the bundle assets, you won't even see this except maybe a touch of the corner. Whereas the main capsule, you'll see almost everything in terms of, you'll see the black hole. The header capsule, you'll see just probably the halo of the black hole. Maybe we'll include a couple stars, but I think that's fine. I think that'll be fine. We can decide if we want to put a little more detail. Like we could do another window here and do a view into like, maybe you can see, I had an idea of maybe you can see like, you can see into the ship here, and you can see like maybe her bunk, or see like a little kitchen or something. I kind of like leaving this blank and just texture it in with something, but I'm not sure. I wanted to kind of scope this out a little more. Rhiannon, you might be able to have some god rays coming out from the star behind the ship towards the viewer to help show it's behind the ship. I think that's obvious. In fact, it doesn't matter. But I think it's obvious that it's happening behind the ship. But yeah, maybe... I think it'll be okay. If we really need to, we can kind of subtly do like an arc that crosses over back behind the ship a little bit. Like we can do a bit more of a halo thing. I just don't want it to be too big. I think the sizing of this is about right. Nix, you uploaded some videos of the black hole you made. Oh, cool. Cycle says, quote unquote, proper light bending around the black hole. That's amazing. You made your own black hole. Very true to life. You're going to have them relaxing on your screen while you're dealing with random crazy shit. Yeah. Yeah, if anything, they're supposed to provide the consistency, right? I'm like seeing how it reads at like the Steam page resolution. It'll just be like this little... I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Yeah, most of the time you won't even see any of this because you're just gonna see the small capsule, which is what's used on most of Steam. Mostly you're just gonna see this. And I think I'm all right. I'm all right with that. And then this, you'll get a little of this. We'll have some interesting things happening here. And then the main, you'll get most of it. And then only when you see the vertical, this will be good. And again, this is going to potentially be broken down to be just square when it shows up. When it shows up here, it might just be a square or mostly square. Like you might just see this or something. Because the bottom part of this is mostly going to be sale information. Like, it's a weekend sale. It's 25% off. Do whatever it says on the sale pages, you know. Occasionally, if we ever get a daily deal or something, you might see the whole thing. I don't remember how it works. I've been trying to study Steam a little more to try to get an idea of how it works. Now that I have some idea of how this stuff is arranged, but I'm still very loose. My understanding is very loose. Nanigans, you wouldn't worry about it making it crop at each aspect perfectly as a single static picture. You make it harder on yourself. That's already how that's what we're doing. You would treat the space background, the ship, and the logo all as separate design elements, and you could compose them in slightly different alignments to make sure it looks good at each scale aspect ratio. We're doing it ahead of time. We're doing it ahead of time because it's pixel art. I can't just do the thing that Half-Life Alyx does where it like down reses and like repositions and like... I don't think that's going to work for us. Because the smallest one of these, which is this one, the small capsule, is 120 by 45. So like to make sure it's crisp, I need these to be consistent. So like this, for example, is 40 by 15. Because 40 by 15 cleanly goes into 120 by 45, right? Two nerdy nerds rating with a party of 26. Hide the code. Or I guess the art. We're working on art today. How's it going, nerds? How's the stream? Welcome in, Raiders. Too many nerds we've got in here now. Oh, Toboogie. Oh, two more nerds. A 2x2 nerd raid in here. How's it going, everyone? Hide the art. Yeah, welcome in. This is Digital Iliad. We're working on some FTL-like or maybe even FTL-light games. We're working on, we've been breaking down and analyzing all the stuff we need for our capsule pages. So we've taken the way of pain, which is to make one piece for the vertical capsule that we can then frame and recut for the other capsules. And we've been looking at black holes, about doing some kind of stuff for the stellar background, like a star being consumed by its companion. So we've been kind of mocking this up as the vertical capsule. So many nerds. It's too many nerds. Nerd squared in here. How's it going since Down to Jam? Not ready for Ludum Dare Friday. I'll tell you that. Unprepared for Friday's Ludum Dare start. But yeah, this is kind of what we just mocked up the outer space part like just now. Oh my god, what layer did I put this on? Okay, well, we'll fix that maybe. We're framing this different ways. So like this is the vertical. You can kind of see it covers the whole thing. Then there's like a main capsule and a header capsule and then a small capsule for which we swap out the logo. This is our approach for Lofi, for what we're trying to do for Lofi Flyby, which is our little idle game we're making. I feel like we're getting there. I need to flesh out what the ship looks like. But we're starting to block out the outer space part, and it's embarrassing that I actually did this here like this. There we go. But yeah, that's what we're thinking of. We need to do a kind of curved accretion disk. Figure out how I'm gonna do that. And what we're seeing in our material here. But how was the stream? If you got a raid and run, no worries. So there's this forward disc as well as this kind of more vertical disc that you can see. We were looking at pixel art black holes and we got kind of inspired. We got inspired to do something like this. Good luck. You still haven't recovered from Down to Jam. I know. And after this, there's a solo development jam number 11 in early May. It's likely going to look off at the bigger crops from a composition and visual balance point of view. There's literally nothing we can do about that, Nanagus. I can't draw a different thing. And actually, you're forbidden from using different art for these different pieces. It actually says so. Please use the key art and logo that's used for any retail boxes or marketing. The only one that says otherwise is the small capsule, which says the art in the small capsule does not need to be the same as your other capsules. Which implies to me that you actually do need to have one piece of art. And I understand what you're saying about doing them at different layers and juxtaposing them and moving them around. And I think that's totally fine. I don't think I can do that from a pixel art standpoint and from a solo developer standpoint and from a bad artist standpoint. I think we're gonna get it as good as we're gonna get it. And if it doesn't look 100% at the main capsule, that's fine. If the header capsule looks good, great. If the small capsule looks good, that's 90% of people are only ever going to see the small capsule. The vertical capsule is only for sales. Like, I feel like if the full composition feels good, I'll be okay with the partial crops. I think it's a compromise we have to make. I don't feel like I have a choice. You like the idea of the cover art? Me too. We're gonna make it work. It literally just came out of nowhere like a few minutes before you rated in. So we're still working out the details. Stream was fun. You went in wanting to do an easy job, only you needs to refactor it all. That is the usual. That's all I ever want to do. I'm actually forcing myself not to do any of that stuff on stream. We're trying to stay on target to get the Steam page stuff up. And I really want to do this capsule art piece because I have screenshots ahead of this, which are going to be challenging. But yeah, Q2, we're doing it. It's Q2 already for anyone who is, you know, alarmed. We're already in the second quarter, and I need this Steam page up as early as possible. Q2. We're doing it. We're doing it. It's the plan. Yeah, I think I'm going to very carefully handle the export myself from this canvas to the specific resolutions required by Steam. If it looks a little janky when they compress it, I'm just going to live with it. I'm hoping that this is a big enough resolution change that it will still look crisp. Like, I'm hoping that we're using a low enough viewport resolution that it'll just look okay. Yeah, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be perfect, and I know it's not going to be perfect. Trying to make one piece that works at every one of these aspect ratios is going to be inherently a compromise. Yeah. Ship it, blob it. How's the post jam, Tabugi? Your Down to Jam game was amazing. I saw your announcement that you're working on it, a bigger version of it, I believe. Yeah, I kind of wanted to find a few more little black hole pixel art kind of looks. I wanted a little bit more. This is what I'm talking about. This is this is what I can handle right here. I love the not perfect circle. God, I hate using Pinterest. There's a reason we don't just look at Pinterest on stream. It's so stupid. Everyone is just trying to sell me like bunny outfits and whatever, and memes. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, like what is all of this stuff? And now what's happened? Stupid Pinterest. You know you want that outfit? It won't fit. Okay? It's not a matter of what I want or don't want. 4 years of work from home has done something to me that I don't think I'll ever recover from. Oh, I love these planets. Okay. Pixel art black hole is what I want to know about. I really like this one. This is neat. They got me here. It looked like a piece of art I wanted to look at, and it was just a Shopify ad. This is it. This is kind of what we're going for. I mean, it's a way higher resolution than what I can do, but notice how you can tell the difference between the flat accretion disk and the vertical accretion disk. Yeah, you're invited to GodotCon Amsterdam. Post-jam is post-jamming full speed ahead. Oh yeah, GodotCon Amsterdam is happening like imminently, huh? Man, I would love to be able to go to one of those someday. I think the likelihood of there being a North American GodotCon this year is very low. This is nice too, this GIF. You can't really see it. you can see a little bit of animations and stuff. But yeah, sorry if I'm coming down on anyone a little hard regarding their feedback with my choices on how to do these pieces. But I'm having to be harsh with myself about what I think I can do. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. Something really thin like this, I think, works for us. AI modified. Don't love that. Why would you need to AI modify this? What is there about this that needs to be modified? I like this. Error 404, reality not found. It's an ad, unfortunately. This is, again, this is like my level of like pixel art. I appreciate this. The vertical accretion disk is fake. It's actually the horizontal accretion disk. Yeah, from the other side. It not being fake, it being fake is kind of immaterial to the appearance of it, right? Like, you see it. So we could, I would argue we could do something like this. But I would rather do something that's a little more recognizable. Actually, the vertical accretion disk is made of cheese. Ah, makes sense. This is nice, too. Didn't you go to GodotCon in the US last year? Yeah, we had the GodotCon Boston in May of 2025. I was promised a North American GodotCon this year as well, but I'd be so surprised if it happens at this point. PAX East has already come and gone, right? In space, there is no vertical. Okay, y'all are trolling me now. There is vertical in space if you're in a solar system or a galaxy, because there's a galactic or solar plane. So yes, in fact, there is vertical in space, but it's all relative, right? This is, I think, the closest to what we're gonna get. Something like this. Where, like, there's a thin accretion disk in front that doesn't totally obscure the sphere, and a thin one at top, and then just the side one is just a thicker one. I think this will be the kind of aesthetic I go for. I think that's what we're gonna kind of go for here. Ooh, this would have been nice too, like a solar eclipse or something. That would have been cool. It would have interfered with the logo, which is something I'm trying to avoid. Ooh, this is nice. Look at this. Look at this beauty. This is just the full-on interstellar black hole. The enemy's gate is down. Exactly, Rhiannon. Exactly. It all depends on the rotation of the cheese. Okay. Oh my god. There's some fairly risque photos. Just popping up. Yeah, I don't think we can do this kind of Pinterest trawl very often. I think I'm gonna just do this in my own time. I don't know how, I need to do this as part of my process for making art. I feel like everyone does this. This is like what I was taught. You need to draw something, the first thing you do is spend like too long on Pinterest. Like, look at this. It's beautiful. I think this would be neat, but it's not quite the perspective we're drawing at. This is also pretty neat. I think this is close. They really went to the rabbit hole of Pinterest. No wonder the bunny outfit has. It's good. Yeah, I wish they could, you know, be a little more specific. All I do is look at pixel art. Give me some pixel art ads. Give me like a Mario embroidery kit or something. Don't give me the Spirit Halloween store. All right, so we need some kind of, there's some kind of center point here. Or not center, we need some kind of accretion disk in the middle, right? And we'll kind of go across. Oop, that's not it. Is this? There we go. I know. I'm browsing for pixel art black holes, which I don't know. They're like, you really want a sheer bunny outfit. And I'm like, okay. Okay, I guess it is close to Easter or whatever. Yeah. I don't know if I'm ever going to look on Pinterest on stream again. So we need something in the foreground, like... The more specific I have to get, the worse this feels. Which is fine. I'll draw it out a bit tonight. I don't really have anything to do tonight. I did my taxes, which was an experience that I would wish on no one, except, you know, the wealthy that should be paying their taxes. So how precise should we be about this is really my question. Something like this. I want to get thinner with it. But anyway, thank you for the raid, nerds. I know you gotta go at some point here. See you, Sapphire. You love Europe. You don't need to do your own taxes if you don't want to. That's really nice. Yeah, I want like that. It doesn't really make sense what I've got going on here. Something like this. I think something like this is the direction we're headed here. Should there be something like that? Is this too far? Something like this. Let me bring it in a little. I want it to travel off screen separately. So Needs to be a little tighter. Oop. Appreciate it. Thanks, nerds. This image reminds you of this other pixel art where a sun is getting absorbed by a black hole. You can't put your hoof on what it's called. Oh my god, next. Okay. Yeah, you vibe code by just trying to convince Dave to code things in the game for you. That's funny. That's funny, Raven. So this has to kind of go like this. That's looking okay. This is looking okay. I don't hate this. Even do a little more here. That's maybe a little too tight. I think what we had before was better. We'll probably have we'll probably have a little bit more of an accretion disk come out this way. It'll probably just be like semi-transparent or something. So that it's not, because I want it to come over this vertical one. And I want it to come out a little more. Yeah, something a little like that. Crisis averted, full refactor not necessary. Great. think I want to tighten this up a little bit too. I want to like a little bit of a harsher arc here, I think. I guess it should be a lot tighter. Maybe not. Is the planet being pulled into the black hole or flew past it? I'm guessing flyby is in the name. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a star or a gas giant. And I haven't decided which, and it's gonna kind of depend on how much texturing I feel like doing. No, please continue to backseat art direct, because I don't think about this stuff. Like, I showed my partner like an early version of this. Not an early version, but I had this like shifted by like 1 pixel, and she was like, there's a tangent from this line into her hair, and I was like, oh. I don't think about that. Because I had her like this or something. My partner's a real artist, so she'll be like, this is a tangent. And I'm like, ah. I don't know about those things. I'm sure I've got some more tangents with the logo. But, I don't know. I'm okay with this so far. I don't hate any of this. I don't know why I made the ship outline in the texture different layers. I probably shouldn't do that. Unless I want to just go absolutely nuts. So the question is, so I need to communicate where the light is coming from a little bit. Whoop. Something like this. Yeah. It has to be like part of this somehow. Not quite sure how. I think like here, probably the transition. Maybe actually here. Something like that. You want us to nitpick the art? You also first saw a joystick, not a cat. Comes into view as you take it in. Good. Because they're all that's in the small capsule. The small capsule art is just them. Just them. That's it. Yeah, the read isn't amazing, but again, I can pretty confidently say this is a game that consists entirely of programmer art, so people are gonna they'll either like it or they won't. Have you been coding on the game off screen at all, or is that halted for now? It is going to happen off screen. Has it been happening lately off screen? Not really. But we'll be back to it soon. This is close. This is we're on our way. I want to fill in some of the texturing on the ship a little bit, I think. Doesn't really matter what color we use. It can't be too dark in here because you need to be able to see. Oh, will this actually erase? No. I'm in a bit of an awkward spot with what to do with the interior. If it's too dark, really nothing else reads. Like, you really can't see Jonesy at that point. Maybe Jonesy being a black cat was like a horrible mistake. Probably light it up in there, I guess, a bit to an extent. So the lightest part of the hull is going to be here. This is going to be like the lightest segment of the hull. So we'll be able to, I think it'll be clearer the directionality if we do the lighting correctly. I mean, I know that's literally always true, but you know. But we know the belly of the ship is going to be the lightest part. And then it'll be that part. And it'll probably be like division here. Something like this. It can't be that. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know quite what to do with this side. I guess it would also be pretty bright. Yeah, the interior of the ship can't be that dark. It's a problem. Something like this. I don't want these to be the same color, though. I need to find a different thing. Maybe something like this. And then for the interior, it's not going to be this dark, but I just don't know what to do at the moment. It's going to be brighter. Maybe it'll be like the same colors like this. There we go. Maybe something like this. The whole thing maybe needs to be brought down a little bit. I'm not really worried about the colors yet. Hey, Vapid, how's it hanging? Yeah, looking okay. Yeah, we've come a long way just today. We figured out, I think, the framing of a little gas giant or a star being sucked into a black hole. I guess I can come in a little tighter here because it's not like we're going to have the background is like going to be black, right? It's space. Well, I guess it can't be that dark. It'd be it's a little lighter than black. Whoop. I actually want the black hole part to be darker than the environment. In fact, I want this to be absolute black, I think. Or maybe it's just this. No, it should be absolute black. It's a black hole, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm gonna do something like this for... This is probably not the color ramp we're going to use. It's just a nice gray that I like. I think this is in line with like my style, which is a very minimalist style. Very few elements. It feels fairly balanced. Is it perfect? No. Like, what's the main capsule? Well, the main capsule's this. Oh, I like this. You can kind of see the bottom of the black hole. You can see the accretion disk. You don't get to see what's going on with the star fueling it. But same way with the background, you get to see this star getting kind of slurped up into this other thing, but you don't get to see much else. Only with the vertical capsule are you going to see all of this. And the header capsule will be fine. This looks fine for a header capsule. The bundle one is fine. The bundle one is almost entirely logo. I was very careful with the framing for all this stuff. I think my biggest problem is contrast. Just figuring a set of colors that actually reads great. We're doing okay. The problem is the ship is the same contrast as these shadows, so I need to make a choice about that. Could make this... I have some darker shades available to me now. Do this one here. Like this. Yeah, that's about. This is maybe a little better. Contrast is a little better. Oh, now it's this one that doesn't. work. It's fine. This shadow maybe should be more of a shadow. Oh boy. Should it be like significantly more of a shadow? Probably. Maybe not. It shouldn't be as dark as her hair. It's too dark. Put some color into it. No, I haven't settled on any of the colors. I don't love the way this just gets washed out in here. That's okay. That's okay. This is all right so far. I think for my skill set, this is okay. This should maybe be brighter. No, it's probably fine. I think for what I've got going on here, this is actually coming together pretty quickly. I think I want to thin this out a little bit. Give this a little bit of a harsher. Nitpick number one, the star looks a little too big to you. It looks like it's very close to the ship. Some kind of lighting texturing might put the ship on a different Z level, but you're not sure how to do that. Press unsubscribe if you no longer wish to receive nitpicks. No, it's a good point. It's a good point. I think this is resolved. I actually don't care whether the ship is in front of, underneath, or behind. I don't terribly care. And you're almost never going to see this. Unless I use this as like the main menu too, which is not impossible. Unlikely, but not impossible. I actually think Lofi Flyby won't have a main menu, really. I think it'll just load up into a ship automatically. Like what Rusty's does. Shaping up nicely. Thank you, Tabugi. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. I'm sure. I'm sure you know. Someday I'd like to make art with my partner, who is a very talented artist, but she's got to actually make money. Can't be messing around here. That doesn't look right. What if I did this a little bit? Whoop. If we blurred the line between these two a little more. like that. Maybe I like this better. Hey, Jacob. It's cool looking. Thank you. Yeah, we're working on the background part of the capsule art. Yeah, I actually don't care if the star is behind the ship. We can communicate the up-downness with this piece of reflected light here, but oh, Nicholas Patton raiding with a party of 2. Raid alert. Welcome in, raiders. How's it going? How was your stream? I don't know if we've had the pleasure. Seduce my partner into game dev. I'm trying. I gotta get some funding. I think it's challenging to work with your partner on something like this because we don't argue very much, but we do have very different opinions about everything. Shout out, Nicholas. Heton. How is the stream? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? Sorry for raiding straight into ads. That is tremendously bad luck. Vapid, you don't know anything about art. Have you tried making the background the same shade but with a tiny hint of purple or color? That way it still looks gray but slightly more intriguing. No, I like yeah, raiding into ads is a pro move. I think you're right about the purple. I have made no final color choices. Yeah, I think I want to thin this out a little bit. Something like this. It needs to thin out a little. Like that. Something like this. This is too much. It's too much on top. What is the actual resolution of the canvas? 75 by 90. Something about this that isn't quite working. I think that's better. Feels like it's too long. Too much saw teeth going on here. But I can't do something like this. That wouldn't work. Maybe I can thin it out. It's better. Maybe it's not better. Oh no, it definitely is better. I just don't know if it's quite there yet. Maybe it should thin and widen a little bit. I think this is more progress than I expected to get today. So that's nice. Let's see if we've got a nice dark purple sky color here. This is, I think, too purple. Maybe not. This is too light, I think. What else we got? This is an interesting color. Kind of like this. Oh, that was not supposed to be on this layer. Yeah, it's definitely more interesting. We'll have to find some spots for some little stars. Some, like, little things. Some, like... No, that's terrible. Some, like, I don't actually know what a little star would look like. Probably be mostly just actual little stars. Maybe the occasional... No. Getting things that either... Yeah, I guess the stars maybe we don't have a lot of stars in the background. Maybe we do some more texturing kind of thing. I don't know. This is close to what I want. I don't feel like I've quite got the siphon exactly the way I want it. Whoa. The heck is this? Oh, there's like a weird pixel in the background. What is happening? I'm erasing. Oh, okay. I think I understand. Background can't be nothing. But yeah, I realize I don't quite care where the star is. Or where it looks like it is relative to the ship, because you're almost never going to see them together. I mean, obviously it should look okay, but I don't think it's like a huge deal. Sorry for just zooming out a lot. What I should do is I should bring open the preview window, which I literally never use and which I'm not even quite sure where it is. Because I do want to know what it looks like. I kind of want it to be in the editor somewhere, but I don't think that's an option. So we'll just put it somewhere. Shenanigans. Adding the tool annotation to anything in Godot is like the plague. You either need to defer initialization on stuff or spread that annotation to all of your dependencies as well, or you're getting no references. Yeah, tool scripts can be very double-edged swords. Hey, KCUG, how's it going? Vapid, the purple background looks really great. If you incorporate that in the entire grayscale of the spaceship, that might be sick too. You mentioned coloring. It's tempting because our main character has this kind of, I call them Deanna Troi colors, but they're this kind of maroon kind of deal, which we extended to Ripley too for unifying reasons. And it would be nice. It would be nice. I think what we might do is we might try to incorporate that into the rest of the stellar material. I feel like I want the ship to be this kind of bluish color, because that's what I feel when I see like shipbuilding materials. I always see like a kind of cool kind of steel kind of look, but we could do any number of things. We have some more colors available to us here. I just don't think it would be quite as good. So like we could try something. Or we do like this instead. I feel like it's not contrasting enough. I feel like it's a little too much part of the environment. I feel like we want something differentiating it. However, putting it in here now is not a terrible idea. There's so many. There's actually a dizzying number of purples to choose from. Do I like this one better? I feel like maybe I might have made a mistake making this window be this tall. I wanted some space to do some interior stuff. And I'm still not sold on whether I should do some cutouts on the side or something. Not sure about that. It could be fun, and it also could be dumb. Yeah, we have a lot of purples to choose from. Part of the reason I picked this font, or this palette, was just the sheer number of purples. I don't know if I like this purple better. Or this one. Well, I probably like the newer one better. It's darker, while still being distinguishable. Oh man, there's so many purples. Yeah, I think this was my favorite. Maybe not. Yeah, there's a dizzying number of choices here. That's not purple, that's like red. I think the first one's my favorite. The more muted one. No, this is not my color palette. I have a color palette that I'm building on, but I don't like it. This is Zenit 241. It's a good palette. It's good for spacey stuff, in my opinion. Cool blue for the ship, purple for space. Yeah, I think something like that, and then maybe greenish for the interior or something, or green and yellow or something. I don't know quite what to do with the interior yet. It's one of the next challenges. But I'm kind of surprised and shocked at the extent to which this is kind of coming together here. There's a question of whether we want to do like another layer, but I kind of don't want to get too close to this Y. We could maybe try to flare this out a little better, a little more, but I kind of like what's going on here, if I'm being honest. Especially when you zoom out. Still not quite sure I love the way I've got this part, though. There's something weird about this that I haven't quite sorted out. I think it looks okay, though. I don't think it's perfect, but I think it looks okay. Maybe it needs a little reduce. Like that. Oh, I like that. Needs a sense that it's getting like stretched back out, maybe. Pixel art curves are challenging, but I think at a certain point you realize all pixel art is like a series of curves here. Oh man, I generated this sphere and I feel like it's kind of shit. Is that better? It's okay, I think. Reminds me a little of my logo. You know, I do similar things with my logo here, which is on my right. The Digital Iliad logo, which is the second piece of pixel art I made. It's this logo. The first one obviously being our style guide here. Actually, I'm going to be super honest. I feel like I made this before the logo, but I'm not sure anymore. We're finding a style, though. We're finding a style. It's taken a while, but we're finding a style. It's going to be challenging for Ludum Dare to do everything in 48 hours. I have concerns. But I'm very pleased with our progress today. We went from, like, we didn't even have this texturing of the ship. It was just the wireframe of the ship and the framing of Ripley and the cat. And we got the initial version of the outer space deal here. I think this was good. I wanted a simple composition with only a couple pieces in it. And I was worried about how you make that interesting, and I think this is the answer. And when I first started, I always thought it was going to be about very carefully placing pixels, and it is. But honestly, the first strokes, the really fluid motions that you make initially when you're drawing this stuff, sometimes those are the strongest. And the more you like pick at them, the worse they get. Ironically. Kind of follow different rules down here, which I don't love. Oh boy. I'm rethinking the whole alt on the pen because I realize I can't actually even assign to the second if I do it that way. I think we're getting closer. It's very clear to me that the cabin is going to be lit internally. Yeah, I think if we need it to be more clear that the star is like behind the ship, we can do like a God ray situation. I don't know how to do that in a way that fits the art style that we're doing. I also don't think that helps tremendously. I think it would be better to just not worry about it. Because again, 90% of the time, people are just going to see this. Or this. Or even more intensely, this. This is what almost everyone is going to see. Just something simple. Hopefully it draws people in. We have to worry about that read more than anything else. If people are seeing this, it means that we've put the game on sale. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone's seeing this, the game is out there and it's on sale. And hopefully this is an interesting enough thing. But it's important to keep in mind that a bunch of the bottom of it will be cut off. So you might only see like this much. And so we don't have a lot going on down at the bottom, which I think is also correct. So we'll see. We can probably do some little stuff in the background. I don't think we're ever going to look at Pinterest on stream again, though. That was a horrible experience. I think we're doing okay. We didn't totally land this, but we were going for more of the pixel arty version of like... Watch it be impossible to find this again. Actually, I can just go to my board, right? I think we nailed this sort of look, which was what we were going for. We could do a little more with maybe adding a few more tones in here. I kind of like the minimum number of tones. Man, the crazy shit that is showing up. Can I pay Pinterest and it won't show me sponsored posts? I feel like if I'm going to use this on stream, I have to figure something out like that because this is just the worst. I really wish I could do something like this. This is beautiful. Like, what is going on over here? Trying to sell me some Squarespace, women in bikinis and bunny suits. This is like such a rough part of the internet. Ooh, I like this even better. This is the one I really like. But yeah, I feel like I can't browse. I can't browse on here. Oh, this is how we should do the stars. It like a semi-transparent. Should do it like this, maybe. Where we pick up brighter shade for the center. And then we do something darker on the edges. Something like that. That should work okay. We'll figure out where we want to put things like that. It's not safe no more. I know, it's crazy. I don't use it very often, but I've been encouraged to for like, you know, it's good to come up with, it helps. It definitely helps. Usually I have like a mental image and I kind of just flounder around until I start to nail it. But it's been helping me to look at what other people do who know more than me and have more experience. But yeah, I'm really happy with today's progress. This is not as far along as I thought we would be at the end of the stream. We've got 3 points of interest on here, which I think is good. Got kind of like a 3-part composition thing here. I'm pleased with this. I'm pleased with this for a day's work. Especially because we got Ludum Dare on Friday, which will be taking all of our attention over the weekend. I'll probably mess around with this tonight. While I'm like sitting and watch a movie on the couch or something. That's one of my favorite things to do late night now. Right now. Is to get some food, put on some sci-fi trash. Like the last piece of trash I watched, which I enjoyed, and I actually don't think it's trash. It's definitely like B-movie style. The VFX is actually breathtaking, but Space Sweeper was fun. Space Sweepers, I think it's plural. And then just draw. Set up the laptop on the couch. Got my drawing tablet. I like doing that. Ludum Dare is this weekend. Yeah, I am participating, Vapid. It's gonna be 48 hours of insanity here. Yeah, speaking of insanity, I gotta get back to work. So let's find someone to raid out to. Pay it forward. We got some great raids from the nerds. We got a raid from another friend of ours here, Nicholas. Who's going? Who's going strong here? Otter is going. I haven't raided Otter in a while. Fern is going. Aaron is going. Aaron is going. Thank you all. Thank you, Jacob, for hanging out here. Let's see how long people have been online. That'll affect my decisions here. Otter usually... Oh, Otter's been going a while. But they're doing pixel art of birds. That's pretty tempting. Fern is doing kind of an AMA kind of thing. Good luck with the rest of the workday. Thank you, Arnie. Yeah, let's go hang out with Otter Make Games. Yeah, I appreciate everyone hanging out, especially over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Thanks for the stream. Good luck with LD Crunch Madness. Thank you. Thank you, Tabugi. Yeah, I'll be live all weekend. working on that. It'll be an intense 48 hours. We'll see how much I decide to sleep and how much of the time is spent just working like crazy. But yeah, really appreciate all of you hanging out here with me. Sorry, I blanked out there for a second. I was just looking at the composition on OBS. But yeah, we'll probably come back to this tomorrow. Keep working on it. I would love to finish this up in a couple weeks. That's generally is how long it takes me to do a painting, is a couple of weeks. So we started working on this last week. I would love to finish it this week. If we could finish this before Ludum Dare, that would be even better. But we'll see. We'll probably finish it and then look at it after Ludum Dare and change our minds and do a bunch more on it. But, you know, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Have a good one. Thanks, Nanigans. Appreciate everyone. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, same problems. Probably won't be light mode, Dave. We'll probably be back to dark mode, Dave. We'll see. All right. See ya, everyone.